Oh wow, as soon as I would start filming, she would start vacuuming. Welcome back to my channel. Today is a very different video that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. I'm not going to get too much into it in the intro because you guys can obviously read the title. So yeah, I'm just going to be doing a get ready with me. I'm getting ready for a little video with the Don't Rush challenge. Make sure that you like and retweet that video when you see it posted. And yeah, so let's jump right into the content of this video. So today's video is a different one. I will start out by saying I had no intentions of actually filming about this part of my life and sharing it here on my channel. As you probably already know, if you've been following me for a while, what I do in my personal life and like my growth and my career is not something that I share. But I had a dream last night, and in the dream I realized that I was struggling with jealousy. And I think that one of the main reasons why I've opted not to share or talk about my medical school journey has been because I've been jaded in a way. When I shared my story or my dreams and my hopes and my aspirations a while ago, the people that I shared with weren't that receptive or didn't really respond in a way that I felt built me up. It kind of made me feel uncertain about myself. And ever since then, I've just kind of been more and more closed off. And so I was having a conversation with my mom and telling her about this dream that I had. And I realized that what it boiled down to was me not trusting God and his sovereignty and his will and his direction over my life. And, you know, that jealousy kind of seeps in because I'm not trusting that what is for me and will always be for me. And it doesn't matter where anyone else is on their journey, whether they're 10 steps ahead of me or 10 steps behind or at the same point or whatever the case is. What is for me, and I can celebrate and congratulate people who are around me without feeling a sense of, okay, I need to be closed off about what's happening in my personal life for fear that I'm not measuring up or fear that, you know, my life just isn't going the way that I want it to, or I'm not as far along as I wanted to be with my medical school journey, or just in life in general, relationships, friendships, whatever the case is. And so I wanted to come on here and be transparent with you guys. Hopefully you guys can relate in a way and realize that sometimes the sins and the things that we struggle with in our heart really boil down to our faith and our inability to trust God. And I'm realizing that the more that I open up and I'm able to kind of share this journey, the more that it will help other people. And, you know, although I do, and I'm still a strong advocate for having discernment and knowing who to say what to, and that not everything needs to be open, I also am recognizing that because I've been so closed about my medical school journey and this part of my life, it has really festered itself in different ways. And you know, although like I'm very happy and celebratory and I'm always congratulating people who are doing great things and succeeding, I always kind of find myself comparing where I'm at, and I don't want to do that. And I feel like if I'm keeping myself real and accountable to everyone who's watching me, maybe that will help me in this process of really, you know, God showing me who I am and the things that I'm struggling with, and reaching out to people who may be struggling in the same way, but maybe in a different aspect. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of go through, talk a little bit about my journey. If you guys are interested in knowing more, just leave a comment in the comment section below, and I will kind of, I guess, go into more detail about my journey with medical school, where I'm at now. Perhaps you're not all that interested, and so this might be a one and done video, but I thought that it was important that I came on here and talked a little bit about how I found myself in medical school, why this is the choice for me, or the choice I'm making career-wise, and why, you know, I've decided to keep it to myself for so long and not really talk about it. So the first thing is that when I started out my channel, I wanted it to be about things and topics that I wanted to discuss. I wanted to talk about pop culture, things that were important to me, things that were meaningful, things that really, like conversations that really excited me, or, you know, things that really I connected with. And I was hoping that other people would, you know, connect in the same ways or really resonate with a lot of what I was saying. And so, you know, it's taken me a little while. My channel is still growing, and I'm still trying to kind of, I guess, in a way, find my niche, and what works for me, and what people really connect with. But I still don't want to stray too far away from myself and who I am, and what I want to talk about. I decided at the beginning that that's, mainly what I wanted to focus on, just talking about things that were important to me. And although my medical school journey is important to me, obviously, I didn't want to be open about it because, like I said in the beginning, there were times that I had not great experience with sharing my journey with people who were my friends, people who I thought were my friends, people who were close to me, and they didn't really respond in a way that felt uplifting to me at the time. Now I realized that sometimes kind of like do this, like I create these scenarios and these assumptions about what people mean when they say certain things, instead of actually going to the source and asking them, or saying, hey, I was really bothered by when you said this, like, what did you mean by that? I have a problem with confronting people and with conflict, and that's challenging for me. So I often shy away from, when I'm feeling hurt by something, saying anything, and I rather just kind of leave it alone and let it fester. And that's never a way to handle your emotions, by bottling it up. And I'm working on it. I'm working on being more transparent. But as you can see, that's like kind of a constant for me. Like, my ability to be transparent has always been tough for me, just because I either fear stepping on people's feet or making them feel uncomfortable about the things that I'm saying, or I fear not being accepted, or my voice not being heard, or just things being awkward, or whatever the case is. So I just don't say anything. So in those moments when I would tell people, yeah, I've always wanted to go to medical school. My medical school journey started when I was 9 years old, and although I don't remember it, my mom and dad clearly remember always saying to me, always saying to them, I want to be a vet. And that's how it started out. Like, I really wanted to be an animal doctor, when I realized somewhere along the way that I would not be able to handle it if someone came in with like a pet snake or a tarantula. I quickly decided that would not be the route for me, but I still wanted to be a doctor. And so, because I was working with kids so much, I was like, hey, what if I just decide to be a pediatrician? My parents said I started saying I want to be a baby doctor. And I remember I used to go and visit my pediatrician, and he was great. He was fantastic. And I loved getting a chance to talk with him and catch up with him in my yearly checkups. And he was so nice, and I would always say, yeah, I always want to be like you. Like, I want to be like you when I grow up. And I guess for a long time, like, kids always have dreams and aspirations, and you just kind of like nod your head and smile when they say certain things. So I don't think my parents, like, there was any way for them to know that I was like super serious about becoming a physician, becoming a doctor. Like, kids say a lot of things. I want to be a singer, I want to be a firefighter, I want to be a police officer. And you just kind of nod and smile, and you're grateful that they have aspirations. Things change, but for me, it never did. If anything, like, I started planning out my career goals when I was in grade 9. Like, I knew what university I wanted to go to, because I figured if I go to this specific university, it'll give me more leverage to be able to get into the medical school program at that school. Now, did my life go that way? Absolutely not. But am I still grateful for the opportunity to go to my dream university? Yes, because I honestly told myself that if I don't get into McMaster, I'm not going to university. So that's just that. I just remember thinking, this is my dream, this is my goal, and what do I have to do to make it, to get there? And so when I would start to open up and share those thoughts and those feelings with friends, I wasn't met with positivity in their response. I started to clam up, and I started to be more withdrawn and be more closed. And I finally was accepted into the medical school program that I was. And like I said, if you want more of a backstory on actual, like, my medical school journey, I can make a whole separate video on that if you're interested. But when I was accepted and I decided to go, I was so reluctant to tell people that were around me, because I had so much anxiety in myself about, was I making the right choice? Like, was God really telling me get on a plane and fly, how many hours away to a whole nother country to start this journey? Like, this is where I want you to be. Like, I was so uncertain. And then to have like people around me who may not have always been uplifting in that process, or may have said some things that already kind of solidified the doubt that I had in myself, made me even more reserved, or made me want to not talk about my journey even more. And then I found that, like, when I would, see other people in my class, in my classes, and people are just excelling, and me, I'm like struggling, I'm having a really hard time because sciences are hard for me. I'm much more of a writer and a creative. And so I had to put in a bit of extra work in that process. And even then, when I was looking around, I was still struggling with comparing my journey and how I was doing with everyone else. And I think that in a way also contributed to me not being the greatest of friends to those around me, because I was so consumed with, okay, this person is doing well, this person got this on this exam, like I'm struggling, I can't celebrate with you. Like, there's no possible way for me to celebrate with you genuinely when I'm struggling and you're like doing great. That's good for you, but what about me? So I think that with jealousy, we jade ourselves, and we don't give ourselves the opportunity to really celebrate with people because we're so consumed with how we're affected. And I'm tired of being that way. I'm tired of just thinking about how I'm affected by other people's successes. Like, their success is their success, and my success will be my success no matter how long it takes me to get there. Like, this is a journey that God has me on, and I'm grateful for it. And so I think I'm trying my best to find peace with that, but I definitely think that it's something that I needed to confront. And by way of coming on here and talking to you guys a little bit about why I was feeling jealous of other people, and just kind of having this heart of comparison. Jonathan McReynolds says it best: comparison kills. It kills your ability to celebrate for yourself. It kills your ability to celebrate for others when you're so consumed and so busy with how everyone else is doing and how you're measuring up. You don't give yourself an opportunity to be like, hey, like, look how far I've made it. I'm happy for you, and I can be happy for me too. And so that's something that's like self-discovery for me, and that's something that I really am faced with. And I think that by hiding, it in a way allowed me to subconsciously fester and hold in this jealousy, because I'm so busy being consumed with what everyone else is doing that I can't see that it's inhibiting me from doing my best and putting in my work, because I'm so consumed with what everyone else is doing. So that's just kind of like where I'm at, and how I feel about my success in my medical school journey right now. Am I where I want to be? No, but God still has a plan for me. I'm still working. I'm still in school, still studying, still pushing myself, still learning, still not giving up on myself, because God hasn't given up on me. So that's kind of like the mantra that I'm living by. I'm hoping that those friends who I have the opportunity to celebrate with about their success don't, and have not felt that, I've been fake or disingenuous, because my congratulations is real. It's just internally, I'm also struggling with comparing where I'm at. I realize that it's not necessarily that I'm comparing the person, but more so where they are in life and what they have. So it's and that's just coveting. That's coveting, that's envy, that's jealousy. And these are all things that the Bible obviously speaks about. And so my goal is to really take a deep dive in scripture and figure out, how do I work through this? How and why is God, showing this part of me to myself right now? And what can I do to combat it? What is God doing to help me combat it? Because obviously I can't solve it on my own. I won't be able to, because if I was able to, then I wouldn't need a savior. I'm slowly working at just being more self-confident, being more open about my process and my journey with school and where I'm at. Like I said, I'll be honest, I've struggled. I will always struggle. So I don't ever want anyone to think that, I've just arrived. And that was, quite frankly, my intention. I was really just going to come on once I was all done graduating and there was an MD behind my name and a DR at the front, and talk about my journey and have that be that. But that's not real. That's not showing people the ebbs and flows of how you move through your career. That's being secretive. That's being ingenuous. That's not being open, because you never know how your struggle and your journey is going to help someone else. Like, even where I'm at right now, I may not be where I want to be, but I'm further along than where I started, and I want to keep someone else who might be struggling with some of the same things that I've spoken about encouraged. And that's what my channel is about: encouraging people, starting conversation, and really making people feel good and feel like they have a friend that knows their struggle, knows what they're working through, and is willing to kind of advise and support along the way. If I can share my story and do that and help other people feel confident and comfortable with their story and that sort of a thing, then I've done my job. Pretty much it. I know that this is a longer video. Hopefully it resonates with you somehow. Like I said, if you guys are interested in more conversations about my journey with medical school, more specific details about the school that I go to, my program, how long I've been into school, I will make that an entire separate video, but only if I see the response. Like, I don't want to just be on here talking about things that a billion other people have spoken about and nobody actually cares. So keep it real with me. I'm just gonna finish getting ready and I will show you guys the finished reveal when I'm done. Thank you guys for stopping by. Make sure that you like this video. Make sure that you leave a comment in the comment section below. Subscribe. Repost all of my stuff. Watch all of my videos. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.
Slow touch, brown and white, like I go country, grab and buy.